back to another episode of the TSG podcast. Today we're sitting down with our newest agent, Matt Williams. It's really exciting for me. I actually helped Matt get into the business, 2.5 years ago, I think. We were at the last brokerage together. He was on my team at that point, decided to go solo for a bit, and then decided to make a switch to come over to TSG. So want to kind of introduce him to everybody and then find out why the switch. So Matt, go ahead and tell us whatever you want to tell us, and then tell us about the switch.
Well, Matt Williams, like Kris said, agent for past 2.5 years. Started out at CRT with Kris when he was on the team over there. And then he opened this, and I was solo for a little bit. And everything was fine, but, I think that in a lot of different careers and a lot of different times in life, a change of scenery can jumpstart a lot of things. Things can be going great, but a move can push you to new heights, push you to new places, and I always feel like we've worked well together at times, right?
Nobody's died yet.
Well, it's been close. It's been close, especially with Clarendon. But we've worked on.
How dare you utter those words right now? Good.
No, I think that's perfect. That's great. That's great.
For those of you who don't know, Clarendon is a current project Kris and I are working on together.
If you're watching anything we're putting out, you know what Clarendon is. And the problem is we got some really bad news earlier today, like literally about 15 minutes ago. But then we got good news. We may have a buyer for it. So it's just an up and down, continued roller coaster. I won't say I'm sitting here with the person that said we should buy it, but I might be sitting here with the person that said we should buy it. So
yeah, I told you we shouldn't have.
So that's one thing. Matt and I, obviously friends from a lot of my life is people from the gym. Matt is where I met Matt at the gym, and we've been friends since. We do investments together. Obviously, you've been with us when we were a team, now as a brokerage, so I think it's going to be a pretty easy transition. But I guess what are you looking forward to the most being over here now?
Some of the big things that some of the reasons I came over, obviously, was, putting yourself around like-minded individuals to where, you're always looking for that next challenge. And that's one thing with you that sometimes it makes me like crazy, because with you, it's always another idea. It's another idea. And
Makes me crazy.
And I can go nuts. Like, I'll be like, man, again, like let's finish this one. You just told me you were doing this. But, that can be so good and so valuable in a lot of ways. So getting around another like-minded individual, and then some of the things you offer here at the brokerage, the podcast, the video, with Zane, I think we both agree that, that's where the industry is going to go. I think a lot of times mailers and other things like that, still door knocking, still serves a purpose, but everything that you're seeing now, your most successful agents, not just here in this market, but just across the country, it's social, video. If you can't get on video, if you can't get on social media, then you're gonna fall behind. And there's a lot of people that pay a lot of money to hear people tell them that.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it for how long. We need to do it. I don't know that either one of us are the most comfortable doing it, but it's...
Oh, I'm fantastic at it. Have you not seen my stuff?
Yeah, I saw the 8 minutes it took us to start the podcast.
It was 5.5. 5.5, guys. He lies. He's a big liar.
But that's just where it's going, and you got that going on over here now. I've seen Zane's work; he does really good work, and I think with that, that's just going to help, boost my business, not just in real estate but other avenues to another level, and really help with like the consistency and stuff. And like you said, we get along.
I think the most exciting part for me is having a friend here with me again, having a friend that I work with every day, see a lot more, talk to a lot more. Well, on certain days we're friends, but that's neither here nor there. And then, like I said, I jump a lot to a lot of different things, but we're always pushing the envelope, and I like to see, not that people have to push it to the level that we do, but I think if you're not living somewhat uncomfortably, you're not growing.
It's a common theme when you talk, when you can listen to podcasts, watch videos, and a lot of really successful people, they push it to the brink, to grow. You can't be afraid to fail to grow, right? Obviously making a move over here wasn't, it wasn't. It was, yeah, and it's not the easiest thing to go from somewhere where you're comfortable and start somewhere new. And I feel like that's anything in life. When you're comfortable, it's like, oh, I don't want to do anything. It's good. It's good. Even though you may know it's bad, right? We've all been in that relationship at one point in our life. Oh, this is awesome. Not, but you stick around because you're comfortable.
Yeah.
So change isn't always easy, but if it's the right move, it can take you to a different place. So I'm excited about it.
Good.
Just the short time I've been over here, it's been a little bit more work getting done. Just been a little bit more motivated to do some things. Maybe we'll sell Clarendon. Maybe we'll get rid of that.
Anchor around the neck, but shouldn't really talk about that house like that because everybody's gonna think it's terrible.
It's a really good house. It's just we've had a couple projects recently that didn't go to plan, and
but we've made money on every one.
We made out on all of them. It's just you have this, you plan for things to go wrong, right, or to take longer. And then when they get past that, if anybody knows me, I'm a stickler for staying on schedule. I was actually complaining to Zane that Kris wasn't up here yet. We were supposed to start at 1:30, and it was about 10 till 2, and Kris was still not up here.
Kris was getting an update on Clarendon and finding a buyer for Clarendon, so those 20 minutes were very well spent.
But I'm a stickler for plans and planning and stuff, and when it doesn't go to plan, it puts me out of my comfort zone, and I can be hard to deal with.
I think hopefully that's one thing I can help you with is you have a plan. We put a plan. We're going to go over a business plan, you and I, at some point here in the next couple weeks. You put it out there so you have your plan, but you have to be able to detour. And that's, I think you've learned over the last few years of flipping with me, is like nothing goes perfect. There's just no way anything goes perfect. And that's going to be the same as you start to continue to build your real estate business. Like, you just went out on a listing appointment last week and hoping this house is great, but he needs to do some cleaning and all that kind of stuff. And you've got to give him a price, but you can't give him a price because you don't know how the house is going to look when he cleans it because he's a single guy. So it's just there's plans, and then there's having the ability to go off plan and detour and make sure we keep within basically guardrails is the way I like to look at it. So not that it's perfect, but that's kind of how this business seems to go, no matter what aspect you're in.
And you got to have that ability to what's the word, pivot, right? I'm a one-track mind person, so, and you got to be able to pivot. I mean, how many different markets have we been in since I started, right?
Yeah.
I know some people that started when I started that don't do it anymore, right? And being around people that have been doing it as long as you have, or I've had to pivot multiple times in different directions, or, you were doing this. The market I came into was, I think I was in real estate for probably 2 months before it started into, you can't get your buyers in contract unless they have $100,000 cash to give away. And your listings, once you put them live, you didn't have to put photos on them, they were sold, right? And for over asking. So I'm dealing with that as a new agent or a newer agent, and like trying to navigate that portion, right? And not knowing, how to pivot or whatnot. And you were there for that. You helped me a little bit there. But now we're to the point to where we're not there. We're in we're in a whole nother market. We're not in a, what I would call a recession. No. As far as the real estate market's concerned, but you're in a point where now pricing is important.
Yeah.
Video is important. All this is important with these listings and taking your buyers to look at homes and stuff, because it's no longer like that. You're seeing price reductions. You're seeing, home sit there a little bit longer.
Which they're still not sitting anywhere as long as they used to sit,
Right.
like years ago. And I keep telling everybody, we talked about this with your decision to come over, and I just talked to one of our other agents today in their one-on-one, and we're in a skills market now. You're not an order taker. I had a coaching call before my coaching call with my agent, and my coach was saying, like, look, the last few years, you've just been giving your time. A buyer says how much. The buyer says they want to offer. You say how much, how far over, how much appraisal gap, how long are you willing to let them live in the house after you buy. When you're a listing agent, throw that sign in the yard. It's listed for $329,900. You basically tell your seller by the end of the weekend we'll have you about 40 offers that are much higher than that. It was just you were trading kind of like you do in a normal job, but time for money. Now you're going to have to get the skills to be successful in this market because it's shifting. We're still low on inventory. We are coming into a market that looks like interest rates could drop by the beginning of next year, like end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter. And I'll tell you what, with the way inventory is trending, and if those interest rates come down under 5, we're going to see similar. No, I don't think it'll be as crazy as it was, but we're going to see something similar because that getting to that 4% or under 5% or right around 5% changes it because we've been in close to 8% for the last month or two.
Right.
So I think it's just a much different skills market, and I think being on video and going in with the mindset of when you have a conversation now of setting the appointment. Like, yeah, you want to talk to me, you want to find out information, but one of your major objectives should be, how do I set this appointment? You just did it last week. You talked to the guy, you set an appointment 3 days later, you went out there, and now you have this listing. It's just a matter of what you're going to list it for, when you're going to list it, and everything like that. So I'm excited that you're over here. I'm looking for some big things. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you just had a pretty big thing happen in your life, didn't you?
My wife and I welcomed a little girl, added a little girl to the family to go with my teenage daughter and then my 3-year-old son. So that was that's been fun. That's been she's great. She's great. But I just that infant stage, that newborn stage is just, that noise.
Yeah.
But she's been great. We've gotten her sleep and stuff like that. It's just going back to being a stickler for your schedule. You throw that in there, and it's like you don't do anything without it involving when's the baby going to eat, the napping and stuff like that. So it's been an adjustment, but
just rip 2 Band-Aids off at once. Have a kid and change broke.
Yeah. I'm really just
fall where they may.
I'm just like throw everything into a bucket, right? And if it doesn't work out, then you tried everything.
Right.
But yeah, it's she's here. Her name's Mia, so she's here. Logan loves her. Aaliyah loves her. So it's been good. I still tease Mary though that we're gonna have a child that's pushing me in a wheelchair to their high school graduation, and they're going to be like, oh, that's cute. That's cute. You brought your grandpa. I'm like, no, that's actually my dad. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, still, man, like, jeez. Like, both my parents were really, really young, when I graduated, like, my parents were in their mid-30s, and here I'm going to be pushing 60.
Yeah, be different.
Halfway to dead.
Yeah, more than halfway.
Well, everybody, Matt is going to be jumping on. He's going to be starting his own podcast. He's going to be on the TSG page. He's going to be on his own page. Make sure you follow him. Check our page so that you can see when he's got stuff out there. We'll have when he puts something out that's on our page, we'll give the link to get to his page so you can see all his stuff. We're really excited to have you. Thanks for coming in and doing this with us. And everybody, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do whatever you got to do. And we'll see you next time.
See you later, guys.